Hey, this is Kevin from Kevin's Barbecue Joints, and this one's awesome. It's with Brad from Station One Smokehouse in Plainfield, Illinois. I went into this one thinking that I knew a lot about Brad, but it turns out I didn't know as much as I thought I knew. He has deep connections to fine dining and 3 and 4 star Michelin places. He had his own butcher shop, a whole animal butcher shop. He headed up Green Street Smoked Meats for a period of time before opening his place, and that's about 20 to 30 minutes southwest of Chicago. And he's opening up a second place, which is like the perfect time to talk to him. He talks all about the second location, which is about 20 minutes from his current location. And the awesome thing about that one is he's going to have offsets of that. He'll have 2 Cen-Tex 1,000 gallon pits and one 1,000 gallon primitive pit that'll be mobile. So he'll have a smokehouse, and he'll be the only one in the area cooking on an offset. It's a really great one. Brad is awesome. He's so thorough. This is so detailed. You're going to love it so much. I can't thank Brad enough for taking the time. Next time you visit Chicago or even Milwaukee, it's not that far, visit Plainfield, Illinois or Yorkville, where the second location is, and go to Station One Smokehouse. Thanks so much for listening, and make sure you stay safe and visit your local barbecue joint. Good morning, Brad. How are you?
Good morning. Glad that we're finally connecting and getting this done. It's been a long time coming. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
yeah, I'm excited too, and there's a lot of questions, a lot of stuff I want to explore, and I that tour was awesome. So thank you so much for doing that tour, and I'll put a link to that tour either above or somewhere, like tech savvy like we are. I'll try
Cool,
to figure
cool.
out
We're
a
gonna have
place.
to do another one of those soon. We're opening location 2 in October.
Oh, cool.
That place is gonna be pretty rad. I'm excited for it.
Nice. Well, to talk about that, let's first off, how do you pronounce your last name?
Hudetz.
Hudetz. Is that
Hudetz, yes, sir.
what's the origin of that?
Slovak in origin.
Okay. Have you gone back there, or have you?
You know what? I haven't. That is on the bucket list though.
That would be
That would be
fun.
dating back to like my great grandpa.
Do you incorporate any of that food into your daily life at all?
I don't. No, I try to stay pretty traditional. That's kind of my MO.
So, what would
Which,
that be? A lot of, like, I guess, sausage and things, and like krauts, and I don't. I literally don't even know.
yeah, I'm sure there'd be sausage and kraut, which I will play with a little bit come the fall.
Okay.
Couple
Well,
months ahead of us here. Still pretty
yeah.
damn hot for that right now. It's
Yeah,
100 and humid today out here.
yeah, it's pretty humid here, but we had that hurricane that
Yeah,
came.
I'm complaining to you about heat. I should just shut up.
No, no, no. It's like, well, Texas. I think Texas is like, I'm in LA, but Texas, I think,
Yeah,
is
I know you're in LA. You guys,
insane.
you just had a hurricane roll through or a tropical
Yeah,
storm, no?
tropical, whatever. Yeah, I think it
Okay.
went a little more east of us. We got a lot of rain, but it's funny because I live in Woodland Hills, and I just saw on the news today we got 4.6 inches in one day, and that's the
In one
most.
day.
That's
Yeah, I
the
saw they're
record
getting
for.
more rain in a day than they do in a year. That's wild.
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully it helps. Hopefully it helps somewhere, but it did cause damage in certain places. Anyways,
Sure.
this always turns into a weather podcast. But it. But did you grow up in Illinois?
I grew up in Illinois, suburbs of Chicago. Out of high school, I left, went to culinary school right away. I was down in Arizona,
Oh,
did that, and I didn't really know where I was going to fall in. So I figured I'm going to start at the very best places I can. And if I end up doing something different one day, I do. So I started in like 4 star, 3 Michelin star restaurants and did that for a better part of a decade before I found and fell in love with Texas barbecue.
did you work in Arizona at restaurants, or were back in
No,
Chicago?
most of it was in Chicago, stronger market. So that's where I did my internship at a French 4 star restaurant called Le Nomad. Coming out of culinary school, thinking I knew a thing or two. I wasn't cocky, didn't think I was the best,
Yeah.
but holy hell, did I underestimate how little did I know? And
How
I
was that
got my ass
experience?
kicked for a couple of years.
So that was it was tough. It was like one of those kitchens that was very
Yeah, my
precise
very
and
first job on my very first day of my internship, I had a case of Roma tomatoes, and I was told to core one end and put an X on the other side, and then I had to blanch and shock them. Then I had to peel the tomatoes and dice them. So I did all that, bring it to the chef. He's like, okay, great. He's like, where's all the insides of the tomatoes? I'm like, you didn't say anything about them. I threw them away. I got screamed at so loud and so hard in front of like the whole kitchen
uh,
stops when there's like a just the slightest noise, and he's just mother effing me in front of everyone because I threw away like the juices, the seeds of the tomatoes. I had to go through a garbage can in front of everyone, pick it as much of it out as I can, just for him to grab it, throw it right back in the garbage can, and read me that you never, ever, ever throw anything away. And in my mind, I'm like a 20-year-old kid. I'm like, holy hell,
yeah,
what
of
did I
course.
get
So your
myself
brain,
into
yeah,
here? I'm like, I'm gonna finish the day and then I'm done. And
I'm
I ended
running
up
away.
working for the guy for 3 years because I was like, you know what, F that. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, no,
It
it
like
sounds like a
challenged
similar
me.
story that a lot of my friends who have worked at my friend worked for a year interning for a guy who would just rail him all
Yeah,
the time.
yeah,
He said
yeah.
he'd sweat through his clothes. It was so
Oh
stressful.
God, yeah, the big old chef clothes, 100-degree kitchens. You're like, why are we wearing these? It's a
It's
different
crazy.
world.
Yeah. Have you seen the bear?
What's that? The
Uh,
bear? I've seen the bear. I think I'm somewhere in season 2 early on, and I've kind of
Same with
fallen
me.
off. I need to get back
Yes,
on
I
it.
fell off
But
of
I
it too a
love
little
how
bit.
they pay tributes to some Chicago restaurants,
And also too,
and some
it's that
restaurants
and
I've been at, or some places I've worked. So that's fun to see.
yeah, that's cool. And it's also that stress level, like that level that he was like when it flashes back to his days of like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
assuming he's talking about Noma and like a French Laundry type restaurant that he
Oh
worked
yeah.
at. But yeah, those
Yeah, yeah.
so then how did you fall in love? Did you go visit Texas or did you have it somewhere?
So about 10 years into fine dining, I kind of was getting burnt out on the fine dining scene, mainly because I'm working at 3 Michelin star restaurants, 4-star French restaurant, Spiaggia, best Italian restaurant in the country at the time.
Uh-huh. I've heard of
And
that.
with the exception of Spiaggia, most of these chefs were either like divorced, angry, alcoholic, just characteristics I didn't want out of life. So I kind of fell out of love with fine dining. And I always, for whatever reason, ended up in the meat section of the kitchen
Oh, okay,
with
that makes sense.
butchery, sauce making, stock making, cooking, all that stuff. Really got into meats and got into the meat field. So I went from working at a couple local meat markets that do whole butchery, not the boxed meat, true butcher shop. And then I'm actually owning my own butcher shop for about 4 years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We had a smoker there. That's when I started to fall in love with barbecue. But it led me to Central Texas barbecue just because the roots of Texas barbecue were from grocery stores, butcher shops, taking meats that would otherwise spoil and they'd smoke. And I'm like, well, this makes sense to me. This appeals to me. I'm kind of living this. And went down to Texas, ate barbecue, never looking back. I've eaten at some of the best restaurants in the country, maybe some in the world. Texas barbecue blew my mind as much, if not more, than some of those places.
That's so,
But
that's
that was
great to
kind of
hear.
me finding myself too. Like I don't like to over manipulate food. My philosophy is bring in really good ingredients and let them shine. What we do is not very complicated. I bring in the best meats I can.
Mhm.
It's not the best business decision financially, but in the long run, I'm in Illinois. There's good barbecue places are very far few in between
Mhm.
here. We're growing, we're catching on.
Yeah, it's starting to catch up, yeah.
But we didn't need another half-ass barbecue joint. And if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it the best of my ability. So like prime meat, seek out the best ingredients, cook on the best smokers I can. Just try to do it right, you know?
That did you have some sort of lineage or some connection to firefighting or firemen, or was it just that you
No,
found the
I
location?
fell in love with Texas barbecue. The concept was always going to be Texas barbecue. I was searching for a location. Meanwhile, I got fully submerged into barbecue. I'm out at Station One Smokehouse, obviously my brand. I built up Green Street Smoke Meats.
Oh, okay.
Dave Bonner runs it now. I
Mhm.
hired Dave. Dave's a great friend. He's doing an awesome job there.
I don't know why I didn't know that you worked at Green Street.
I
Yeah.
ran Green Street. They were open maybe 3, 4 months when I showed up. They were struggling to keep anybody in a leadership role in the kitchen,
Okay.
mainly because the culinary director also came from fine dining and ran a military kitchen and micromanaged. So they
Uh,
cycled through a handful of people, and then I showed up, and I was there 2 weeks, and I sat that guy down. I'm like, man, you hired me to do this. Either you let me do it, or you got the wrong guy, because he was a tough cookie, a
did it
real
work?
tough cookie.
Did that work,
But
or
he ended
did
up
he
letting
leave?
me do my thing, and we built something pretty cool there. I'd still be there today unless I left to do my own thing on my own.
Was that always the plan to do
Yeah,
it?
that was always on the back burner. After I sold the butcher shop, that's when I ended up back with Green Street Smoked Meats. Not back. That's when I went to Green Street with the understanding in the back of my mind. This is my playground until I figure out my thing.
How did you find that location?
I'm about 30 miles outside of Chicago, so it was hard to leave that platform that I helped build. It's now a powerhouse and really well known, but that's not really what drives me. At the end of the day, I just want to cook some good barbecue and
Yeah.
have some good work-life balance and be happy, and it's going well.
And so that place from the tour, I gathered that place was empty for a little while. That firehouse.
So yes, so we found this location. It was everything I wanted. Really tall ceilings, very industrial space, but it was the town's original firehouse, which was not in usage. A couple people bought out the building and approached me like, "Hey, we got the spot we want you to see." I walked in and right away I'm like, "Yeah, this is it."
It's a cool
So
spot.
that's where Station One Smokehouse came from. Like the idea was never. I'm not a firefighter. It's just paying tribute to the history of this building, which has been in town for a long time with the fire station.
Were those doors roll up doors before and then they turned them
So they
into
used to
porch?
have garage doors, which they wanted to get rid of and just glass front the front of the building. I'm like, no, I want them garage doors. They wanted to get rid of them. They did, but I sold them on the fact that I told them, like, guys, God forbid, but I open. What if I fall on my face? I got a big old Oiler smoker sitting in back. How the heck are you gonna get that out of the building? They're like, okay.
That's
So
an
they got me these
interesting
big
sale.
glass doors that open and close, weather permitting, for an open environment, which I love.
I love that.
Just
No,
changes the
that's good.
vibe in there, you know.
Yeah. No, and it
People
also
walk
feels very
by,
Texasy too.
yeah, like public parking's across the street from us, and the downtown area is 1 block away. But so many people stop because they hear the music, they smell the smokers running, they see the full bar, and they just like stop in their tracks and they come to us. It's great.
That's really
They may
cool.
have been
What
going out to eat at the other place, but
what is Plainfield like?
Plainfield, I grew up in Plainfield. It used to be a very small town. It's exploded. It's probably like 45,000 people now, which is still relatively small in the grand
Yeah.
scheme, but suburbs of Chicago, man.
But also, if someone's coming, say someone flies into Chicago, because people listen to this, or they even live in Chicago, you
If you fly into
are
Chicago,
west,
whether
right? West,
you're
southwest-ish?
Midway or O'Hare, you're probably 30 to 40 minutes from me at either
Okay.
location.
And it's
Southwest.
southwest, yeah.
Southwest of Chicago.
And you fly in on southwest and then go
You can
south.
fly on Southwest to me, indeed. And then
Probably.
head Southwest.
So when did you guys officially open? Was it 2018?
We opened December of 2018,
Yeah.
which thank God I had a full year under my belt before the whole world of coronavirus that we're just going to dodge and not even talk about.
Yes. Okay. So
But we
prior
hit
to
the
that.
ground running hard. I knew coming from Green Street that would carry some weight. I just didn't think it'd resonate this far to the burbs, and thank God it did because we hit the ground running and we're still running.
And did you want to cook on a JNR? Were you cooking on that at Green Street?
I
Is that
cook on an Oiler just because it's probably, or at the time, was the best smoker I thought I could have been cooking on. I definitely wasn't going to go Old Hickory. I definitely didn't want a Southern Pride gas assist. I don't even like the electric features of the Oiler. I don't use them other than the rotisserie. I
yeah.
just wanted wood burning. So Cook County, Will County, DuPage County, all these areas of Chicago will not let you cook on the offsets.
Yeah, like LA.
My
Yeah.
location number two, I will be cooking on offsets. They are okay with it.
Nice.
So that's going to be a huge advantage for us over a few friends that I know that cook really good barbecue around Chicago that are kind of handcuffed and not allowed to do that. So I am extremely stoked. We got some Cen-Tex smokers just sitting and waiting.
Oh, you asked Cen-Tex.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
what a
got two
beautiful.
Cen-Tex
Oh,
from
he's
Michael
just
over there, and then we do have a primitive pit that's 1,000 gallon as well that is on a trailer, mobile for us. We're having a BQ grill over there, so we got some firepower coming.
They'd be doing some whole
Yeah,
hog then.
yeah, we're doing whole hog and some direct heat cooking. Like I would love to do pork steaks, but I don't like how they come out of the oiler, so I don't do them here. But they're on the BQ grill. That will be
Ah,
awesome, and just a lot of versatility,
well,
toys to play with.
let's jump into that. But first off, what are the hours? So people, just in case they want to know, what are the
Yeah,
hours
food
for?
hours are usually 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. during the week. Weekends are 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. for food
Okay.
or run out or sell out. We are closed Mondays. That's the only day we're closed.
How are you doing? Like, say someone came in 6, 7-ish. Are they gonna get pretty good?
My goal is always to make it to about 7:38. If things start
That makes
falling,
sense.
then perfect. I'm happy.
Yeah.
And again, like I'm in Illinois. I think we're my big thing is paying tribute to Texas barbecue. I don't like to copy like what each store does or take their recipe or do this. I'm just trying to pay tribute.
Yeah.
All of my meats are pretty straightforward: salt, pepper, garlic, onion. Bring in the best meats I can, let them shine. We kind of flex with some of the sides and stuff that we do and mix it
Yeah.
up.
Those look good.
Sadly, I think suburbanites do demand a little more as far as like I have deep fryers, so we have fries on the menu, which I absolutely hate, but they're great for our wings because we're smoked the
Yes.
wings and then flash
Yeah.
fry them, and we sell a ton of wings. But a heavier, larger menu than I would care for. But we do try to sell out of meats daily because we don't obviously resell day old meats or
Yeah. Yeah.
reheat them. I think there's enough places around outside of Texas. Again, not speaking
There's some
holistically,
Texas
just
places
around
too.
where I'm at, where people, it's a little spottier on what they're doing.
Yeah, no, we don't need
Yeah,
to
but I mean, I
dig
got
too
10
much.
years of fine dining. I got probably 10 years of barbecue in me. So as much barbecue as I know, I know as much, if not more, in French and Italian cuisines. Going
But
down to
also, some
Texas
people
just
come like,
just caught me.
yeah,
Caught the bug and never has escaped.
and also too, like there's because you have a full bar, people can like have bar
Yeah,
food. Like it's
yeah.
so like it's and
Yeah,
also
we do pretty
Chicago's
good
a
at lunch, but we don't get the lunch crowds that some places down there get. So and it's just the size of our building and all. It would hurt my overhead if I wasn't open lunch and dinner.
yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. And so then let's talk about the new place. So you said October?
October is the goal right now. Yeah,
Where
they're
is it?
moving along. So that is in Yorkville. I'm rocking the burbs out here in Chicagoland.
I'm sorry, I don't know Yorkville. I wish I
That's
did.
okay. I didn't. You know what? I never knew much about Yorkville when I was
It
approached
sounds
about
cool.
it. But my real estate guy came to me. He's like, "Hey, I got a couple guys that reached out. They got money. They own a bunch of restaurants, a bunch of properties. They're builders. They want to build you a restaurant in Yorkville." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." It was
That's
in
it.
one ear, out the other.
Yeah.
Month goes by, same thing. Hey, let's meet with these guys, and we set up a meeting. And I think I was short staffed, so I couldn't make the meeting, and I totally forgot about them. And they called a month again, and like, can we meet? And finally met them, and here I am, opening a second location, and they're served as my landlords. But it was a build to suit, but it'll be great because the restaurant's twice the size of the one we have now.
Okay.
I'm used to working in tight kitchens in Chicago, and I grossly underestimated how much carry-out business we do here and how much catering we do here. And I kind of have to limit myself in that respect because I don't have room to produce as much. So location two, kitchen, huge. And it'll serve as more of a commissary too
Oh,
for the
cool.
both locations. Consistency. If I can't be consistent, I would be perfectly happy and fine just having one restaurant.
Mhm.
Rather have one good one than two or three half-assed ones, you know.
Oh no, I agree completely. Is that how far away is that from this location?
So for me, it's a straight shot. It's only about 20 minutes.
Okay.
But over there, having the Cen-Tex and cooking on offsets, I'm going to cook all my briskets over there, probably all my pastrami's over there, and run them to the other store daily. I'm going to have one store making sausages, not two stores, so we're transfer that.
Smart.
But the original location will still have the smoker running constantly,
Mhm.
cooking the meats that you cycle through daily. It's not going to be like you come to the other location, we're not smoking anything there. It's constantly we still be. But I just want, if I cook better brisket on a Cen-Tex than I do an oiler, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Are you having a
Yeah.
smokehouse
Oh
next
yeah,
to the?
yeah. So it does have attached to the building its own smokehouse outside, which will be nice.
That's cool.
Do tours and all of that. Yeah, we're a few pits sitting in there.
Wow, that would be rad. And
Yeah,
also
and
too,
then we took our patio because I took so much space to the kitchen. We realized our bar's pretty big. I didn't put enough seating in the front, so we're turning our patio into a Four Seasons room with like big garage doors that open,
oh,
so
that's
we can utilize that year round.
wow, that's crazy. So
Yeah, it's
October,
gonna
like
be fun. It's
right
gonna be
before
fun.
the holidays, it's gonna be rolling.
Yeah, I know. Buckle in. Here we go.
So is it going to be roughly the same menu or a little bit different over there? Or?
Roughly the same menu.
Okay.
Roughly the same menu. Like I'm minor changes. Like here, we take brisket scraps. Those either end in sausage, or we do like a smash burger. Over there, I think I'll just do like a half-pound smoked burger that we sear on the flat top or a grill to finish. Generally, it'll have whole hog because I have the smoker over there
Mhm.
for it. I'm not gonna do a whole hog in an oiler and have rubbery pork skins. I do
Oh,
pork steak over there, so there'll be a few differentiations, but very similar.
will it be called Station One
It will be
Smokehouse
Station One Yorkville,
or Station One Yorkville?
mainly because I'm too lazy to redo a logo and merchandise
It's a lot.
and have to carry like a bunch of T-shirts for two different stores. Nah, just Station One. Maybe their T-shirts can say Yorkville that says Plainfield
Yeah.
or
Are
what
you
have you.
still pay homage? You'll have some firefighter stuff at that location too, probably, right? Like how you have like and in the front, don't you have when you walk in, you have like some jackets and you have a
Oh,
hose.
okay.
Is it
Yeah, I
still
mean
gonna be that
everything we have
style?
here, like we have a huge American flag here, which is awesome because it was built by the fire chief's son-in-law out of all like local Plainfield fire hose.
Oh, that's so cool.
The fire department here has been awesome. They give me a lot of memorabilia. If I let them, they turn it into a museum. And I'm like, guys, I want to pay tribute to the fire department, the building, but the concept's Texas barbecue. Like I'm
Of
not,
course, yeah.
we don't dress up as firemen. I'm not a fireman. I love them. I support them. I'm
I
a
mean
barbecue guy.
that I never thought about that. That's actually like that seems like
I get asked
a
that a lot. Like,
skit.
you a fireman? I'm like, no, no, no. We're just,
Yeah,
it's got a history.
yeah. That's cool. No, and
So,
also too, like it's not like you could find every location wouldn't be a firehouse because not all firehouses like do they. So they built a new one in that town or that
they
city.
have four. They've opened four and retired this one.
Oh, do
So
guys come
that's the
over?
growth they've seen. They went from one firehouse, closed that down, opened a new one. Now they have four of them around town.
Four. Wow, that's yeah. So you
So
guys are growing
yeah,
then.
it's a decent sized town.
Yeah, that's cool. So
And
when you
we draw from all over. I mean, I get people in from Chicago every single day. I get people from every suburb around Chicagoland. It takes
cities are
time to
close.
build a brand, I've noticed, and I learned that at Green. But we're about 5 years into it, and here I am talking to you. I had Daniel Vaughn in a couple weeks. It's just like,
Yeah, how
yes,
was
all
that? Yeah, I
right,
was gonna say
we're
how was
getting
it?
there.
How was that
We're
having
getting
Daniel
there.
stop by?
That was awesome. That was really cool. I met him years back at Green Street Smoke Meats, and I've seen him at a couple the festivals and what have you. But having to come to my location or my shop was made me feel good. It's kind
Yeah.
of validating. Like,
Mhm.
you're on the right path, buddy.
Were you there?
Oh hell yeah, I was here. No, I'm usually here. I
No, I mean
may or
like I
may
didn't know if
not
you're
have
running an
been tipped
errand or
off.
something. Yeah,
I
yeah.
may or may not have known he was on his way to me from Green Street Smoke Meats.
Okay.
Because Dave over there is still a very close friend. And he's like, hey, just heads up, you may have a visitor today.
That's always like no, I didn't know if you were like I'm running it because people are busy and people that aren't always in their store at
Yeah,
every
right. I mean,
time.
especially opening a second location, I
Yeah,
backed off a lot here. I have good people in place. I try to stay in my lane and spot check them, but let them manage
that's smart.
and do their jobs.
Mhm.
It's hard to let go of that control.
Yeah. No, it was I was so happy. It was fun that to see that Daniel had stopped by because we were going to talk, and it was just
Right.
I like I didn't know how far away he was going to go in general. Like he
Yeah,
was.
he came. He's like, what, Plainfield, where the hell am I? He's like, is this even a suburb of Chicago? I'm like, yeah, man, we're only 30 miles out. It's not my fault you came during rush hour.
Did he come with his kids?
He picked up his son, I believe, from camp in Minnesota. They were trekking back their way home. So
So
his
what
son
other
got to go on a nice barbecue tour with him.
yeah, that's great. What other cities are close by so people if they're in
Naperville is a big one. People would know. Joliet. We're
okay.
sandwiched in between those.
Okay, and
Chicago, maybe you've heard of that one.
no, that
It's
one I
about 30
haven't.
miles north.
That one I haven't heard of. You know what's funny is too, I didn't realize it's not super close, but Milwaukee isn't far from Chicago.
Milwaukee, I can be there in under 2 hours.
It's so bizarre. I'd like it's once you
Just there a
because
couple of weeks ago.
it's just weird that I don't like there's certain parts of the United States that I know well and then
Sure.
just unless you're traveling around a lot, you're just gonna yeah. So okay, so 2 hours, that's not so someone comes in Milwaukee for a business trip, they can come down and see both locations in November. They'll be able to go to both
Right.
spots.
From Milwaukee, they're probably more inclined to go to Chicago than Plainfield. I don't know why, but
No, but now
we're working on changing that.
after
No,
this,
I'm
they'll
kidding.
want to yeah, after this, hopefully
I'm
this
super pumped. We got a clear advantage with them offset pits that others don't get to cook on.
yeah.
So we should be producing some of the better barbecue, no doubt.
And
No
also too, those
excuse.
Cen-Tex are beautiful pits. I didn't
They
realize
are.
that.
I've seen them all. John Brotherton, I fell in love with his Cen-Tex. That's when I ordered them. I was where was it? Houston Barbecue Fest. And
Okay.
just seeing all the different pits and stuff, and I fell in love with everything about the Cen-Tex.
Excellent. So can you go over really quickly what your proteins are?
Yeah, so we sell meats by the half pound, counter service, sliced brisket, chopped brisket, pastrami, and then we get into pork. We do pork ribs. We do pork belly. We just switched that over to pork belly burn ends. That's been really good for us
Yeah.
because I get a better margin on them, and I've been selling out of them daily. Pulled pork. We'll do turkey breasts, smoked salmon. Those are the meats by the half pound daily. And then sausages, like we always have a hot link on. We always have a jalapeno cheddar link on. And then we like to throw one other on that we mix in, mix out. We just did a Polish. We did smoked bratwurst when baseball started. We've done boudin, and then just like different plays on like a jalapeno cheddar. Maybe it's a serrano with Oaxaca cheese or
That's awesome.
different. Yeah, whatever. Something fresh and different.
And all scratch made.
Yes, yes, yes. Everything's made in
Yeah,
house. The
that's
only thing we
huge.
do
Yeah.
not make here is the bread. We make our sauces, our different rubs, and all of our sides are scratch made.
And then sides wise, do you guys have like rotating sides, or is there a constant?
We're keep maybe 2 to 3 rotating, but we have a lot of the standards like tater tot casserole will never leave. We do a Mexican elote style corn, which I would like to change this up, but there's a cult following for it, and I'd be hated. We make our own mac and cheese sauce, obviously, so we got mac and cheese. We do fried Brussels sprouts. We do green beans, coleslaw. I gotta offer vinegar and creamy because it's a
Because
different clientele.
yeah.
But we try to. My menu's pretty tight. It's pretty focused. I even want to tighten it up and take a couple things off and just maybe just run them as specials here or there.
Dessert. I forget if I saw
Dessert, yes. Dessert. We usually have a few. Right now, we do a salted caramel bread pudding, banana puddings every day. We do a peach cobbler right now, but I'm probably gonna switch that out with something new soon.
Yeah.
Just we try to keep those rotating and different. Banana pudding would never leave.
Yeah, well, it can. And then, so what's your ideal platter for yourself? If you were making a platter, say for a friend that came in, or
if you came in here and I was making you a platter right now, you're getting a little of a lot. So you're definitely getting probably a slice of fatty, a slice of lean, maybe a burn on thrown on that, probably a slice of pastrami, spare rib, jalapeno cheddar link. I would push you that way. Daniel really loved ours. It was funny, he eats so much barbecue. He ate up brisket. He's like, this is really, really good brisket. And then he took a bite of the sausage and just looked at me like with a smile, like a little kid.
Oh, that's
and I'm
great.
like, wow. Like you've probably eaten a lot of jalapeno cheddar sausage, but that one really struck a chord with you. I was honored.
Okay, cool.
What else would I throw on that sucker? Our wings are crazy good.
Cool.
Turkey's the sleeper of the menu, I feel. Yeah.
Good turkey is to die for.
Yeah. I had a piece just 20 minutes ago. It almost like melted in my mouth. It was like, holy shit, good job, guys.
Yeah, and that's good for people.
I come and I spot check. I look for the problems and we correct them and I let the guys do their jobs.
Hey, that sounds like a great.
It sucks. I mean, if I had my way, I'm cooking brisket every single day, which I probably will be doing in Yorkville. I'm gonna make that my job. I own the smokehouse there. So, I got a butchery background, so like sausage making, butchery, and just some about cooking the meats. Being out in the smokehouse in the middle of the night. It's peaceful time.
It's a zen time. It's a
yeah.
And also too, it gets you in a headspace. And I've talked to a bunch of different chefs, like different walks of life, and it's the restaurant business it's cyclical, and it's kind of. It starts out with like a clean restaurant and bring people in, and then you clean it up for the same. So it's kind of nice to have like your own time away.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Especially when you own the place, like you get pulled away more and more from the things you love to do. Yeah, I try to stay in my lane and do what I'm good at. Like you see the size of my office here. Pretty effing small. It's like a closet. I'm not an office guy. I'm a hands-on production guy.
That's good. But you still have to have an office, but it's just
Yes.
Yeah. And so was your family all out there, or?
So when I was ready to open this, I had some investments lined up. I had the people that owned the building willing to put in money if needed. I was able to partner with I have 4 brothers. I come from a family of 5 boys.
Wow.
I partnered with my oldest brother. He was selling off a couple businesses he owned. He was in the massage world, Envy. Did really, really well, but he got out of that and invested in this. So he's the business savvy one. I'm the day-to-day functions guy. Cool. So he doesn't know barbecue at all, but he is very business smart, and he takes care of that end. I take care of this end, and it works.
Oh, nice. That's cool. So you do have family that's out in that area too. So that's cool.
Yeah. My dad's here. My dad runs our office, does all the catering. My wife fields social media and complaints. If the complaint needs a phone call, that is on me. I make the phone calls. My mom helps out running the register a couple days a week, so it's very much a family business.
I love that. So then they'll be splitting time between both locations once that happens.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I knew that your wife was involved, but I didn't realize all the other.
Okay, yeah, my dad's the office guy, which is great because it's good for him and it helps us a ton.
It's nice that you have a dad that's still with us too.
That's cool. So cool. Yes, awesome. It is. Yes, it is, and it's fun that this has been pretty well received. So it's been a good run, 5 years in.
That's awesome. Well, this has been just so great to talk to you, and it's taken us a little while to get this going, but there's a lot that I learned. A lot of people will learn a lot from this, and
Sure.
they'll have heard of Green Street, they'll have heard of all these different things, and then your background too with fine dining that mirrors certain people, but a lot of people don't have that background, and
Right.
it's nice. And
Right.
it's
Yeah.
nice
There's a
you're
couple
making,
people I know down there.
yeah, that you're making scratch made sausage, and that all the meats are high end, and then also the Cen-Tex and the second location. I think I'm so excited. I can't wait to do a part two. Maybe we do one. Maybe it'll have to be after the holiday season, so that way you can kind of look back and see how it all worked. Because I don't want to get you in the middle of holiday
Sure.
season, because
Sure.
that's
Whenever you're ready,
I
I'll
would
make
love to.
myself available.
But hopefully in the
This is good
fall
stuff.
I'll be able to come out and visit you. But thank you so much, Brad, and your team's doing an awesome job. And thank you for doing the tour. And awesome. Well, have a great day.
All right, Kevin. Thanks kindly.
Take care. Good luck with everything. All right, cool.
You too. Bye.